the biggest myth of tournament play is that only dickheads play at tournaments. No ifs, ands, or buts. And it's where I quite strongly disagree. Not only like general things that's said online, but also with like some other like content creators and, you know, famous people in the Warhammer sphere. Northern Exile, for example. Like I like watching a lot of Northern Exile's content. I enjoy a good Warhammer rant and all that kind of stuff. Don't get me wrong, as much as I don't enjoy that shit as much as the next man. I do think that, you know, sometimes he'll be like, oh, I have no interest in playing Warhammer 40k because of the competitive scene and the, you know, I'm playing super try hard and it's only like try hard whacker people that like play at tournaments. And I think that, you know, obviously that might be the way it is in his local area. I understand that and I respect that. But for me, you know, I'm not quoting Northern Exile now, just using him as an example. I want to make that clear. Like, here be line, okay? I can find quite difficult people more often in the casual scene than the competitive scene. And I definitely feel, and I did a whole video of this, I definitely feel like casual, and I use casual just as a term. I'm not using it in a derogatory way. You might play every single day, but not go to a tournament. I'd still categorize you as a casual/narrative player, just because I can't be fucked coming up with a special word that is going to be less, like I said, not going to hurt your fees. Yeah, okay, they're the terms, all right? We use casual, we use competitive. They're the fucking terms. Okay, that's it. I find loads of casual people are quite are totally fine, but I also find like the moment that a casual player comes across anything that's like remotely spicy or remotely powerful, they start getting bent out of shape. I think that is a real, and I know a lot of people say, oh, the competitive community needs to work on this and that guy, and, you know, and cheating and all this kind of stuff that needs to be worked on. And I think great strides have been made in the 40k in the competitive side of things in those areas, but more work has to be done. But I think if I was to say something to the casual scene, not everyone's like this, by the way, but the casual scene absolutely has their own that guy. Absolutely. And in fact, at this stage in 40k's social evolution, out of the two communities, casual and competitive, by the way, you can be part of both. They're not exclusive. I would describe myself as a casual and a competitive 40k player. But speaking specifically to the casual scene now, you guys need to fucking get your own kind of fucking that guys under control. And your kind of that guy is the kind of person that needs to get a grip. He needs to get over himself. The moments I'm going hot, guys. I'm going hot. Okay. But I'm also having a bit of fun, so don't take me too seriously, all right? But the moment that I hear someone go, that's just a net list. That's broken. That shouldn't be in the game. I'm just like, I don't lose all respect for you. I lose all respect, and then I go into respect negative. That's it. I'm like, why the fuck, bitch? Why are you being such a little bitch boy about it? Why are you complaining? I'm not trying to say get good, because I'm not trying to say that. But like, don't hate on someone else because they decided to bring something good and you didn't. Especially in a tournament. You signed up to a tournament. No one put a water pistol at your head and made you turn up with a bunch of shit units. But if you do, but you have to be, I know you don't need to live and breathe 40k. Let's say the tournament, maybe they're not out of tournament. Okay? But no one needs to do 40k as a full-time job to be able to just put together some generally good units. Okay? Like, it's like, oh, there's a blob of infantry. I better make sure I have an order for it. Yeah. Obviously, like, you know, that's a standard combo. But you come across people and there's just no synergy, there's no thought, it's just a bunch of random shit, okay? And then they'll get really bent out of shape when they start losing. And I'm not talking from a theory point of view here, I'm talking IRL. Now, let me make something clear here. Because people are going to be like, but I should be able to turn it with my units and have fun. Yes, you should. But turning up with units and having fun does not mean that you should turn up and expect to win or have an equal chance. Think about it for a second. You play against someone who has put a lot of thought and effort into their list, who has put a lot of practice into their list, and you turn up with a bunch of stuff that you just thought was fun, why would you expect to have an equal chance to beat that guy? If that guy fucking fills you in, don't complain about it. Alex Wargamer, rip wooden spoon Minotaur guy spinning in his grave. So this is exactly the kind of guy that I'm talking about, right? So me and Alex went to Nottingham GT. It is a super major event with 250 plus players. Okay, one guy turned up with like a Minotaur. And Alex, correct me if I'm exaggerating. I might be mixing a couple of stories up here. Alex turned up with the Mackie V, with the Mackay's Vanquisher. I think went 1-4 and got filled in quite badly. But we both came away from that event having had loads of fun. Okay. But Alex was telling me a story about there was some dude, there was a couple of people that he played against. First one, I think, was round 4, when I think both players were like 0-4 at this, 0-3 at this point. And this guy gets out a chess clock and is really anally retentive about the chess clock. And it's like, why? We are not winning the tournament. Chess clocks are there. I like chess clocks. But when we're on, day 2, round 1, and no one's won a fucking game, I think at that point, even me, Mr. fucking recent convertee to the cult of the clock, I probably wouldn't bother with one. Okay? So that's like, what's going on there? And then also, you've got Alex played some guy with a Minotaur who every single turn complained about his Minotaur not doing the damage that he wanted it to do. And basically got really, really salty. I think this was round 4 or round 5. Really salty that Alex beat him. And he was like, bro, that Macarius is so broken and overpowered. And Alex is literally looking at this guy like, did you actually just say that? So this is the thing. I am not saying every casual player is like this. Very, 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 very few are. The vast majority of quote-unquote casual players, non-tournament players, are unbelievably lovely. Most people that you meet in this hobby are unbelievably lovely. You meet lovely people at the tournament scene. You meet lovely people at the casual scene. But a lot of the time, I think that the casual scene doesn't like to acknowledge or doesn't like to admit that they have their own version of that guy. And their own version of that guy, some guy that feels like he can't put 2 and 2 together, complaining. And he's trying to bring the game down to his level rather than him trying to fucking step up. Here's, not to wipe myself off. I went to a tournament. I went there with a bunch of terrible units. Okay? I got absolutely bad in my first game. My opponent gave me, from that first game, gave me his best sporting vote. Even though, he beat me, and even though I lost. Because the entire time, I said to my opponent at the beginning, I went, you've got a really good list here, man. I'm not sure if it's gonna go very well for me, but I'm not gonna give it to you, but I think you've got this one. And he went, yeah, this is a good matchup for me. And I was like, yeah. I said, but mate, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go full send. I'm gonna run at you, and let's do this Orky style. And he was like, fuck yeah, man. And he beat me. Did it matter? No. I was Orcs. My opponent was using a Bretonnian Exile gunline list. Like, I could have looked at that and gone, oh, man, Bretonnians with guns. I didn't. Do you know what I did? I went, mate, your armor looks fucking sick. Love that conversion. Love that fucking thing there. And I said, I love how you got 2 different colour schemes. He went, oh, well, half the units are from my Bretonnian house, and the other half from my wife's Bretonnian house. I went, oh, yeah. He went, yeah, look, I'm riding the Pegasus. She's on the horse. And so it's the 2 nobles working together, and half of this is my wife's army, and half of it's my army. And I went, sweet. I said, look at you big softy. He went, I know. See? But I never would have known that. If I had gone and go, that would matter if we brought that to a friendly pickup game. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as a friendly pickup game. Unless you discuss it, unless you and your opponent agree to something, there's no such thing as a friendly pickup game. Let me explain. You and I have played each other many times. What have we done? Even if it's just a couple of Discord messages, what have we done every time? Discussed it. We've said, let's go friendly. I'm going to bring a militia themed list. And you've gone, cool, I'll bring a Scry themed list. Discussed it. In the age of social media, when was the last time anyone just went down to the local club and just had a pickup? They don't exist. I'm sorry. Okay. They do exist. They're actually very uncommon. The way I would say 95% plus of games are organized now, are done now, have some form of pre-organization taking place. Even if you're all part of the same club, same Facebook group, all that kind of stuff, right? That's how they're done now. I'm saying now, in the year of our Lord 2025, okay, the vast majority of people have some form of organization. Even if it's, hey, what are we playing on Thursday? 40k. Sweet. See you there. Or if it's a group Facebook post and the club, I've seen the way my club does it, where they say, who's free on this day? Who's free on club night? 8 to 10 people say, I'm free. And the TO says, okay. And the club organizer goes, okay, you guys can play each other. I'll do pairings. Bang, 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 bang. There you go. That's it. Let me make something clear. The vast majority of games these days involve some level of discussion and some level of organization. If you don't specify a friendly game in 40k, knowing that 40k is like a competitively led game, then you can't complain if someone turns up with something hard, because you didn't say friendly game. It just needs a little bit of communication. Playing a war game is like having a good relationship, and you got to tickle the balls every now and again. That's just the way it is. It's 2025, bro. Real talk. Casual groups have problem children too. 100%. Yeah, I think there is toxic competitive play. There's cheaters and all that kind of stuff. But the reality is that I think you have a very, very similar toxic casual that guy problem, where basically they just complain about losing but don't do anything to try and get better at the game. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with not wanting to get better at the game, because this might be how you chill and you don't want to be super intense about it, but you have to kind of own that fact. And then if you lose every game, you kind of have to own that fact and be okay with it, because you can't really expect someone else who is trying to win to not try and win just because you don't want your fifis hurt. You have to, if you're a casual player, you have to own the fact that you're a casual player and not put that on someone else. And if you're a competitive player, don't be a cheating towel scumbag. Curse Thompson, the issue with the get good mentality, people see that statement treating 40k as a job rather than just a fun game. Some folk just like cool minis. Dude, totally agree. That's why I purposely said my response to people is not get good, because I don't think you should be forced to get good. I think that you should be able to play 40k and not be plugged in 24/7 365. Okay, 100%. As CR Smith says, be casual and own it. That's the way to do it. And I'm not talking about this from a theorycraft point of view. For me, I have basically, and I know this is not an option for everyone, but it's an example, even not a perfect one. I am a casual player and a competitive player. When I play 40k, I like to play competitively. I like to win. I like to come up with good combos. And at the same time, I like memeing it, but really I like trying to do as well as I possibly can. But I have other games like Bolt Action and Old World, which I just have absolutely zero interest in following the meta or taking the most powerful things. I know what those things are. I don't know them in detail, but I am casually aware in passing of things like 90 goblins with bows with poison. I am casually aware of the fact, up until recently, that Neb spam was a thing and that Whirlwinds were really good, okay? I am aware of those things. I could relatively easily deep dive and find out the nitty gritty and build the most powerful list, but I don't, because those are my casual, have fun games. Those are my, I just want to run cool shit games, okay? So I could have that same mentality, and I have that same mentality within 40k as well. Like my Tyranids, I know what is better for Tyranids. I choose to run Swarm. Okay, here's the thing: I then don't run my casual Tyranids into an at a tournament or even at a pickup game and expect to win. I go in there, and if I get absolutely butt fucked, and I'm happy, and I shake my opponent's hand, and I say good game, and if I got absolutely trashed, I have a good laugh about it. And I make sure, I say to my opponent, mate, you absolutely smashed it there and you played fucking perfectly. And I always compliment my opponent. I don't ever go, fucking bullshit, man. I never, ever make someone feel bad for their army, ever. And for making right decisions and bringing a good list. I chose to run the bad shit. I chose to run it. I chose not to run the good stuff. That was an active decision on my part, and I have to own that decision. I definitely think that 40k has, on the competitive side, has problems, has bad actors, has toxicness. Not a lot of it. Likewise, on the casual side, I think that 99% of people are lovely casual players that get it, but they have to own the fact that there is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5% of their community in real life, and especially online, don't own the fact. They don't own it. So yeah, I think that's my sort of a thought on the whole thing. Yeah. Would you like to know more? If so, then please consider becoming a channel member or patron. By supporting the channel, not only will you be doing your part, but you'll also be helping me create more content for your viewing pleasure and unlocking a whole host of perks. You get everything from a badge next to your name, custom emojis, but the big one is access to the Mordian Glory Discord server, an online community with almost 2,500 active members. It's always popping off in the MG Discord. We've got channels for army lists, hobbying, tactics, stories, and even a pretty spicy meme section as well. For all you greenhorns that wanted to see the Mordian glory hole, today is your lucky day. And joking aside, I do want to say a massive thank you to all of the current channel members and patrons. You guys are amazing. Truly the lifeblood of the channel. I could not do Mordian Glory full-time without the incredible and generous support of my members. So thank you guys so much. And last but certainly not least, I want to say a personal thank you to all of my top tier Patreons. These are the War Masters, the people who have truly gone above and beyond the call of duty. So a heartfelt thank you to Alex Dengal, Bon Vert, Lord Pryor, Mark Panconi, RJ Scorpion, Swordfish Trombone, Try Again Bragg, John Stubbs, Nick Walsh, Diesel Fox, and August Barney. Seriously guys, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Your support is incredible and it makes a huge difference. Thank you so much. That's all for now. Hope you've all enjoyed today's video, and of course, as always, see you guys next time.